Hello everyone, it's Marvel DC Fan here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And this video is kind of slapped together mainly because I wanted to have a video for today, and it is literally 3:30 in the morning on this exact day when I'm recording this, so I wanted to start having content throughout the week, like just having that once a week kind of thing. So here we are with Ant-Man. I've seen it twice, and the first time was just a regular, trip to the movie theater, just a regular viewing, and then the second time was 4DX. So I guess I can give you my perspective on that. It's an interesting one, for sure. So anyway, let's dive into the video and talk about positives. Of course, these videos are non-spoiler, so we don't have to worry about, finding out details for certain movies. I know I'm kind of late with this one particularly, but, whatever. It's just... my motto, better late than never, I suppose. Alright, so the biggest thing about this movie, which I say I liked the best, was Jonathan Majors, who played Kang himself. Kang was just such an interesting villain, and he really did steal the show whenever he was on screen. And yeah, his performance was just fantastic. It made me excited to watch Creed 3, which I need to rewatch the other movies before to see this, because I forget what happened in those. But I'm really excited to watch Creed 3 because of Jonathan Majors. Like, he's been killing it, and he did it again with Kang. Like, he brought a different aspect of that character, and I was really excited to see what they do with him, especially given what happened in Loki. So he definitely did not disappoint. Yeah, his performance was good. I like his costume a lot. It's very very familiar to Kang fans. Got that color scheme and almost like robe attire with some armor in there. Like, it looks really good. Me personally, I'm still kind of partial to his EMH design, but that's more a me thing. And yeah, so he's great. Paul Rudd too. Paul Rudd is like really good in just about everything he does, and he is one of the best things about the Ant-Man movies for sure. So I'd say he definitely, did his Paul Rudd thing, and it was good. Like, it was probably like one of my favorite performances as Ant-Man. I think this and the first movie are pretty much like top two for sure. Maybe Endgame is third, but like I said, Paul Rudd's great. Can't complain there. The movie, plot-wise, was generally entertaining. I was kind of worried with them setting it in the quantum realm, but they did some interesting things with it, and it works within its limitations. Also, I gotta say that for the most part, compared to Phase 4, as far as visual effects and stuff, it seems like they had a little bit more time with this one. It didn't look as rushed as some of the other projects from the last few years. So I could say that is good. I heard too that they used that background tech that the Batman used, so I'm hoping more movies actually do that as opposed to just green screen everywhere or blue screen or whatever in the back, so actors at least have an idea of what they're working with. But yeah, that's as far as just positive stuff goes. Getting into negatives, which I have a few. So performances from the other characters were just kind of all over the place. For a movie called Ant-Man and the Wasp, there's barely any Wasp there. she's there. It's just she's not really there as much, and they don't really team up too. You know, the main two. At least with the second one, there was a clear, like, you know, camaraderie, and, you know, you could see them working together to fight ghosts. This, like most of the movie, they're separated. And that was a spoiler right there. Well, okay. Well, the movie's been out for a bit, but that's your one spoiler for the video. But anyway, there's not a whole lot of Ant-Man and wasping. That sounded weird in my head. So Catherine Newton, who is now taking over for Cassie Lang, this was a weird one because I like her. She was in that movie where she switches bodies with a murderer or serial killer, and that was kind of fun. But like this, like, she had one expression on her face the whole time, and it looked like she could not give less of a fuck. Like, it was astounding how out of it she just kind of was. And then, you got Hank and Janet, which Hank is just doing his Hank thing. Like, they really, with this one, Hank is basically just like, he is basically the comic relief of this movie. I mean, Paul Rudd is pretty much like comic relief for the other movies and stuff, for maybe Luis, but like, they needed a character who wasn't really all that serious. At least with Paul Rudd, there is some seriousness to him, which I like seeing. But Hank is just joke after joke after joke after joke, and yeah. There's maybe like one scene where he's serious, but yeah, most of it is just joke after joke. Janet, I'm not going to say what happens, but I did not care for her for most of the movie. If not all of it. She does something that, like, is just almost head-scratchingly confusing, and you're wondering, like, why won't you? And then when you get to it, it's just like, oh, that's kind of underwhelming. So, yeah, the main cast is just kind of all over the place. Besides, Hank and stuff. I think the standouts really are Paul Rudd and Jonathan Majors. Like, they do an incredible job. As far as other stuff, like, they introduce like a bunch of side characters, like which doesn't go anywhere. There's a big, there's MODOK, which they kind of, I thought he was entertaining, but it's weird because it's a very love and hate thing. It's strange. Like, I like the design of MODOK, but I just think his character is like not really all that great. But yeah, what else? So I did mention the visual effects are kind of, better than some Phase 4 stuff. It's not that all the time. There are some moments where it especially looks bad. Yeah. And pacing was weird too, I'd say. Because for the first like 10 minutes, it's like catch up, and then it dives right into the story, and then there's a whole chunk of the movie which goes incredibly slow, and then once Kang shows up, then the movie like pedals into fifth gear, and is pretty good after that. So yeah, it's just kind of all over the place. And about 4DX, do not watch this if do not have 4DX as your first viewing, because funny thing is that I've never been to a 4DX movie before this. Like, I thought about going for the Batman, but then I for some reason just decided against it, and I kind of ended up regretting it because, you know, some sequences I would have been amazing in 40X. Anyway, anything that is loud, I mean, there's certain parts where it makes sense for the seats to move and all this other stuff, but then, like, as soon as anything like a loud noise happens, then it's just like rocking the chair off to the side or something. And also they had like smells too, and those smells were just, they smell like garbage. I don't know what they were trying to make me smell, but yeah. But yeah, 40X was an interesting experience, I'd say. Yeah. Anyway, I guess we get into final thoughts now. So, Ant-Man is fine. It's okay. It's not a bad movie, I'd say. It'll probably be end up like really forgettable, but as far as the start of Phase 5, it's not bad. I liked it a hell of a lot more than I did Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like I left that movie theater and I already had forgotten about most of what happened in that movie. This I can kind of remember most of it. There's some blemishes here and there, but since I watched it a second time, you know, it's a lot more clear. But yeah, not a bad movie, I'd say. Don't pay full price for it, especially don't go see it in 40X. If I were you, I'd go to like, you know, a midday showing or just anything that's cheap. Like if you have a few bucks to spare, go on a cheap day and, you know, get some popcorn, get a drink. You'll probably be entertained for sure. But yeah, that's about it for me. Videos were, I'm going to try and, as far as stuff like this, I'm going to try and be a little bit more consistent and, you know, have more videos out throughout the week. But I'm not sure what those videos are going to be. One of which I had in mind was a pickups and purchases video, and then the other one was just part of a new series, or I guess kind of a new series anyway. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, in the comments below, tell me what you thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Did you like it? Did you hate it? You know, are you kind of in between? Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. So Gotham Knights is a thing, and I'm kind of, no, I was, you know, no. Until next time, have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching, and of course, don't forget to take care of yourselves. See ya.